The massive screens in the Galactic Council chamber flickered with images of Earth, showing cities, oceans, and the countless humans going about their daily lives. The council members, representing the most advanced species in the known galaxy, watched with a mixture of curiosity and poorly hidden disdain. These humans, Director Stone said, his crystalline body reflecting the light from above, they still have their original biological forms. No improvements, no enhancements. He made a sound that might have been a laugh. They even sleep for a third of their day. The gathered representatives murmured in agreement. Most had evolved far beyond their original forms, embracing technological improvements that made their bodies more efficient. Some had metallic skin, others had multiple hearts, and a few had even abandoned physical forms altogether. Tom Reed stood quietly at the center of the chamber, maintaining his composure despite the not-so-subtle mockery. As Earth's chosen ambassador, he knew this first contact would shape humanity's future. He was a tall man with broad shoulders, wearing a simple blue uniform that seemed plain compared to the exotic appearances of the council members. Dr. Gray, the council's lead scientist, floated forward in her energy form. Ambassador Reed, our scans show that humans are still using their original digestive systems. You actually break down organic matter inside your bodies. How? Primitive. Yes, Tom replied calmly. We eat food, and our bodies process it naturally. More laughter echoed through the chamber. Observer White, a being made of pure light, spoke next. They don't even have backup organs. Just one heart, 2 lungs, and a single stomach. Their bodies break so easily, and they take weeks or months to heal. Tom felt his face grow warm, but he remembered his diplomatic training. Getting angry wouldn't help Earth's case. While it's true we don't have technological enhancements, human biology has its own advantages. Advantages. Director Stone's voice dripped with sarcasm. Your species can barely survive in space without extensive protection. You need constant rest, regular sustenance, and your temperature regulation is completely internal. The council chamber erupted in another round of laughter. Tom noticed that even the guards at the doors were amused, their mechanical bodies shaking with mirth. But then something unexpected happened. Representative Ward, Tom's backup from Earth who had been quietly observing, stepped forward. If our biology is so amusing, perhaps you'd like to test it. The laughter stopped. Director Stone's crystalline form shifted colors, showing interest. A test. Tom looked at Ward, understanding the strategy. Sometimes the best way to handle mockery was to prove them wrong. Yes, he said, turning back to the council. If you find our biology so primitive, surely you wouldn't mind putting it to the test against your enhanced forms. Dr. Gray's energy form pulsed with excitement. A series of trials, perhaps, to demonstrate the superiority of technological enhancement over natural evolution. Exactly, Tom agreed, knowing this was their chance. Choose any challenges you wish. If human biology is as inferior as you believe, it should be an easy victory for your enhanced forms. The council members exchanged glances, their various forms shifting with interest. Director Stone finally spoke, his voice carrying through the chamber. Very well. Ambassador Reed, we accept this proposal. 3 trials will be conducted, testing your primitive human biology against our advanced forms. Tom nodded, keeping his expression neutral even as hope filled his chest. They had taken the bait. When do we begin? In 3 solar cycles, Director Stone declared. We will design the trials to test every aspect of your biological capabilities. I hope you're prepared for disappointment, Ambassador. As Tom left the chamber with Ward, he could still hear the council members discussing what they considered to be the obvious outcome. Little did they know, human biology had some surprises in store for them. Millions of years of evolution had crafted humans into something far more remarkable than their enhanced forms could understand. The real test would be making them see it. 3 days passed quickly. Tom stood at the entrance of what the council called their environmental chamber. a massive room designed to simulate any condition in the galaxy. 5 other competitors joined him, each representing the most advanced species in the Council. "The first trial begins now," Director Stone announced from the observation deck above. "We will test your ability to adapt to rapidly changing environments without technological assistance." Tom looked at his competitors. To his left stood a being with metallic skin that shifted colors like oil on water. To his right, another contestant had what looked like external cooling fins and multiple breathing ports. The others had equally impressive modifications: retractable environmental shields, adaptive skin layers, and even atmospheric processors built into their bodies. "All external enhancements will be disabled," Dr. Gray explained, her energy form pulsing with anticipation. "Only integrated systems may be used. For our human participant," she paused, almost laughing, "well, you don't have any enhancements to disable, do you?" The other competitors chuckled. Tom remained silent, focusing on his breathing, just as he had during his military training years ago. "The chamber will cycle through 5 environments," Observer White announced, "each lasting 12 minutes. Survival and adaptation will be measured. Begin." The first environment materialized around them, a scorching desert. The temperature shot up to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Tom immediately began to sweat, his body's natural cooling system activating. He noticed the others watching him with curiosity as liquid dripped from his skin. "Disgusting," muttered the metallic-skinned competitor. "He's leaking." But as the minutes passed, Tom's sweating kept his temperature stable while the others began to struggle without their external cooling systems. Their integrated systems weren't as efficient as they'd expected. The scene shifted suddenly to a high-altitude environment. The air grew thin, and the temperature dropped dramatically. Tom's breathing quickened naturally, his body automatically adapting to the lower oxygen levels. Years of high-altitude training helped, but it was his human biology doing most of the work. "Fascinating," Dr. Gray muttered from above. "His respiratory system is adjusting without any mechanical assistance." The trials continued. A humid jungle, then an aquatic environment, and finally a high-gravity scenario. Each time, the competitors watched in growing concern as Tom's body naturally adapted. He was tired, yes, but his systems kept working smoothly while their enhanced bodies struggled to match their usual performance. "How?" demanded the competitor with cooling fins. "Your primitive form shouldn't be able to handle these changes so well." Tom wiped sweat from his forehead, catching his breath. "Humans evolved to be adaptable. We don't need extra parts because our bodies already know what to do." Representative Ward, watching from the observation deck, smiled as he saw the confused looks on the council members' faces. Their data screens showed something they hadn't expected. Tom's vital signs, while stressed, remained remarkably stable throughout each environmental change. "This is merely the beginning," Director Stone declared, though his crystalline form showed signs of uncertainty. "The next trials will surely prove the superiority of our enhancements." As they left the chamber, Tom overheard Dr. Gray speaking quietly to Observer White. "Perhaps we should run more detailed scans of his biological systems. There might be something we're missing." Tom smiled to himself. They were starting to understand, but they still didn't get it. Human biology wasn't just about individual systems working well. It was about everything working together, adapting and compensating as needed. Nature had spent millions of years perfecting this design. The next trial would show them even more, but for now, Tom was content knowing he planted the first seed of doubt in their minds. Maybe human biology wasn't so primitive after all. The council chamber buzzed with excited discussion as Dr. Gray presented her findings from the first trial. Her energy form flickered rapidly as she displayed holographic images of Tom's biological responses. "The human's performance requires further study," she announced. "Their natural cooling system, this sweating, is remarkably efficient. But there's something else we discovered during our scans." Tom sat quietly, watching the aliens' reactions. After the environmental chamber test, they'd run every scan they could think of on him. He knew what they'd found. Humans, Dr. Gray continued, are what they call persistence hunters. Their entire biology is designed for endurance. Director Stone's crystalline form shifted colors in confusion. Endurance. But their muscle structure is so basic. Tom stood up. Would you like a demonstration? The council members looked at each other uncertainly. Observer White moved forward, his light form dimming slightly in thought. What kind of demonstration? A simple race, Tom suggested. No time limit. We go until someone can't continue anymore. The metallic-skinned competitor from the first trial stepped forward. I accept. My enhanced form can run at peak efficiency for days. The challenge was set. An hour later, they gathered at a massive track that curved through different terrains. 5 competitors, including Tom, lined up at the start. Begin, Director Stone commanded. They started running. The enhanced aliens quickly pulled ahead, their modified bodies allowing them to move at impressive speeds. Tom kept a steady pace, his breathing controlled and rhythmic. 1 hour passed. Then 2. The aliens maintained their lead, but Tom noticed something. They weren't getting any further ahead. 3 hours in, the first competitor dropped out. Their cooling system had overheated without external enhancement support. Impossible, Dr. Gray muttered, watching their screens. The human's efficiency isn't dropping. If anything, he's getting more stable. 4 hours passed. Another competitor stopped, their energy reserves depleted. Tom kept running, his body covered in sweat, but his pace unchanged. This is what we used to do, Tom called out as he passed the observation post. Before we had weapons, we would chase prey until they collapsed from exhaustion. 5 hours. The metallic-skinned competitor finally showed signs of strain. Their integrated systems were running hot, efficiency dropping rapidly. His muscle fibers, Dr. Gray announced, her voice filled with wonder. They're actually adapting to the prolonged activity. And look at his temperature regulation. It's perfect. 6 hours in, only Tom and 1 other competitor remained. The alien's enhanced form was struggling, movements becoming jerky and uncoordinated. Tom had slowed but maintained his steady rhythm, his body doing what it had evolved to do over countless generations. Finally, after 7 hours, it was over. The last enhanced competitor collapsed, their systems unable to maintain the prolonged effort. Tom did 1 more lap and then stopped, tired but still standing. The council chamber was silent. How? Director Stone demanded. You have no enhancements, no upgrades, no improvements. Tom took a drink of water before answering. We didn't need them. Nature gave us everything we needed. Bones that can handle constant impact, muscles that adapt to stress, a cooling system that works better than any artificial one. We can keep going long after most animals, or in this case, enhanced beings, have to stop. Dr. Gray's energy form pulsed with excitement. The implications: we've been so focused on adding improvements that we never considered the efficiency of evolved systems. The council members watched as Tom walked out of the chamber, his movements still smooth despite the extreme exercise. They had laughed at human biology, but now they were beginning to understand. Sometimes the simplest solutions were the most effective, and they hadn't even seen everything humans could do yet. The medical bay of the Galactic Council station hummed with activity as Dr. Gray prepared for the second trial. After the shocking display of human endurance, the Council had designed a new test, one that would surely prove the superiority of their enhanced healing systems. The recovery challenge will test your body's ability to heal from physical stress, Dr. Gray explained. Her energy form moved between the competitors as she spoke. We will monitor your recovery rates from various types of muscle strain and minor injuries. Tom sat on one of the medical beds, noticing how the other competitors seemed less eager to mock him now. The metallic-skinned alien from the previous trials kept glancing at him with what looked like concern. Director Stone's crystalline form glowed as he announced the rules. Each participant will undergo controlled physical stress. We will measure your recovery time and efficiency. The first test involved muscle recovery. Each competitor lifted weights until their systems reached maximum strain. The enhanced beings used their integrated repair protocols, expecting quick results. But something unexpected happened. "Look at the human's muscle tissue," Dr. Gray called out, her form flickering with excitement. "It's not just repairing, it's getting stronger." Tom smiled, remembering his basic biology classes. "It's called supercompensation. When we stress our muscles, they don't just heal. They build back better than before." The council members gathered around the scanning displays, watching in fascination as Tom's muscle fibers repaired themselves and grew stronger. Their enhanced competitors could repair damage, but they couldn't improve beyond their programmed limits. The next test involved bone stress. Each participant had to undergo controlled impact tests on their skeletal structure. The enhanced beings activated their reinforcement systems, while Tom relied on his natural bone density. "Impossible," muttered Observer White, reviewing the data. "His bones are actually remodeling themselves. The impact points are becoming stronger." "Wolff's Law," Tom explained. "Our bones adapt to the stresses placed on them. The more we use them, the stronger they get." But the most surprising moment came during the final test. One of the competitors accidentally caused a small fracture in Tom's arm during a strength comparison. "We must stop the trial," Director Stone announced. "The human is damaged." "No," Tom said calmly, even as the medical scanners beaked around him. "Watch." Over the next few hours, the council members observed something they had never seen in their enhanced forms. Tom's body began healing the fracture naturally, without any external intervention. Cells rushed to the injury site, beginning the complex process of bone repair. "This is remarkable," Dr. Gray said, her energy form pulsing with excitement. "Your body isn't just fixing the break. It's completely rebuilding the bone structure. And look at the surrounding tissue response." The enhanced competitors watched in silence as their scanning systems showed them the intricate dance of human healing. Stem cells becoming bone cells, blood vessels growing to support the repair, muscles adapting to protect the injured area, all happening automatically, without any conscious control or technological assistance. "Our enhanced healing is faster," the metallic-skinned competitor noted. "But it's limited. We can only repair to our original state. You actually improve from injury." Tom nodded. "That's how we evolved. Every stress, every injury, every challenge makes us a little bit stronger. Our bodies learn and adapt constantly." Director Stone's crystalline form shifted colors rapidly, a sign of deep thought. "Perhaps," he said slowly, "we have been too quick to dismiss the power of natural evolution." As the medical bay cleared out, Tom caught snippets of conversation between council members. They were beginning to understand that human biology wasn't primitive. It was perfectly engineered by millions of years of evolution. And they hadn't even seen everything humans could do yet. The final trial would show them even more. The final trial chamber was unlike anything Tom had seen before. It was a massive dome filled with various terrains, obstacles, and environmental hazards. The air itself seemed to shimmer with hidden dangers. "The survival challenge will test every aspect of your biological capabilities," Director Stone announced, his crystalline form glowing brightly. "You must navigate through multiple zones while dealing with unexpected threats. No external help will be provided." Only 3 competitors remained: Tom, the metallic-skinned alien, and a being with adaptive armor plates. The others had withdrawn after seeing the results of the previous trials. Dr. Gray's energy form moved through the room as she explained the rules. "Each zone presents different challenges. You must reach the other side of the dome to complete the trial. Your biological responses will be monitored throughout." The first zone was a maze of heated platforms. The metallic-skinned aliens stepped forward confidently, their internal cooling systems humming. But halfway through, their systems began to overload without their external cooling support. Tom moved steadily, his body sweating freely. The aliens watched in fascination as his natural cooling system kept his temperature stable. He helped the metallic-skinned competitor up when they stumbled, their enhanced form struggling with the heat. The human's temperature regulation is remarkable, Observer White noted. No mechanical systems, yet perfect adaptation. The second zone brought darkness and a series of complex obstacles. The competitor with adaptive armor used their integrated night vision to move forward. Tom's pupils dilated naturally, his other senses heightening to compensate for the lack of light. "Look at his sensory adaptation," Dr. Gray called out excitedly. His hearing and touch sensitivity have automatically increased to compensate for the reduced visibility. But the true test came in the third zone. The ground became unstable, gravity shifted randomly, and the air grew thin. The remaining enhanced competitor systems began to fail under the combined stress. Tom's body responded differently. His inner ear adjusted to the gravity changes, his lungs automatically modified their breathing pattern, and his muscles tensed and relaxed as needed to maintain balance. It's not just individual systems, Dr. Gray realized, her energy form pulsing with excitement. Everything works together. Each part of his biology communicates and adapts with the others. The final zone brought the greatest challenge, a combination of all previous hazards, plus a series of problems that required quick thinking and physical response. The enhanced competitor systems, already strained, began to shut down one by one. But Tom kept going. His heart rate increased to provide more oxygen, his muscles burned through energy efficiently, and his brain stayed clear despite the stress. Years of evolution had prepared human biology for exactly this kind of challenge, adapting to whatever nature threw at it. When he finally reached the end of the dome, Tom was exhausted but still functioning. The enhanced competitors had either withdrawn or required emergency assistance. Director Stone's crystalline form shifted through multiple colors as he processed the results. "In all my years, I've never seen anything like this. It's not about having the best individual systems," Tom explained, catching his breath. "It's about having systems that work together, that can adapt and compensate for each other. Our biology isn't simple. It's incredibly complex in its simplicity." Dr. Gray moved closer, her energy form bright with curiosity. "We've been so focused on adding new features, we never considered the power of an integrated system developed through natural evolution." The council members gathered around their data screens, reviewing the incredible readings they had collected. Human biology had proved to be far more sophisticated than any of their technological enhancements, and there was still more to learn. The main council chamber had never been so quiet. The data from all three trials floated in holographic displays around the room, showing the incredible capabilities of human biology. Dr. Gray stood in the center, her energy form glowing brightly as she presented her findings. "We must completely reconsider our understanding of biological advancement," she announced. "What we witnessed in these trials goes against everything we believed about evolution and enhancement." The metallic-skinned competitor, now recovered from the final trial, stepped forward. "Our enhanced bodies are specialized, designed for specific tasks. But the human," they turned to look at Tom. "His natural form adapts to everything." Director Stone's crystalline form shifted to a deep blue color, a sign of deep respect in his species. "Ambassador Reed, we owe you and humanity an apology. We mistook simplicity for primitiveness. We were wrong." Tom stood up, looking around the chamber at the beings who had once mocked human biology. "There's no need for apologies. This was a chance for all of us to learn something important." Dr. Gray's form pulsed with excitement as she displayed new data. "Look at these readings. The human body's ability to repair and improve itself is extraordinary. Their bones don't just heal, they grow stronger. Their muscles don't just recover, they adapt and enhance themselves." Observer White moved forward, his light form dimming thoughtfully. "And their nervous system, the way it processes information and adapts to new situations without any technological assistance, it's remarkable." The chamber filled with murmurs as council members discussed the implications. Some were already talking about studying human biology for insights into improving their own enhancement technologies. But the most impressive thing, Dr. Gray continued, is how everything works together. While our enhancements are separate systems working in parallel, human biology is a single integrated network. Each part supports and enhances the others. Tom watched as images of human cellular structure, muscle tissue, and neural networks appeared in the air. The alien who had once laughed at these primitive systems now studied them with intense interest. "We request permission," Director Stone announced formally, "to establish a scientific exchange program with Earth. There is clearly much we can learn from human biology." Representative Ward, who had been quietly observing, stepped forward. "Earth would be honored to share our knowledge. Perhaps we can learn from your technological advancements as well." A new hologram appeared, showing a proposal for a joint research center. The council members quickly approved it, their various forms showing signs of enthusiasm and curiosity. "To think," the metallic-skinned competitor said quietly to Tom, "we once believed our enhancements made us superior, but your natural biology can do things our technology still can't match." Dr. Gray was already planning research projects. The implications for medical science alone are staggering. The way human bones heal, how muscles adapt, the efficiency of their temperature regulation, and their endurance capabilities, added Observer White. "No enhanced being has ever matched their natural stamina." Director Stone raised his crystalline form to address the chamber. "Let this be a lesson to us all. True advancement isn't always about adding more features or creating more complex systems. Sometimes, the most sophisticated solution is the one that nature has spent millions of years perfecting." As Tom looked around the chamber, he saw no more mockery, no more disdain. Instead, he saw curiosity, respect, and genuine eagerness to learn. Human biology had proved itself not just equal to their enhanced forms, but in many ways superior. The council that had laughed at human biology was now preparing to study it, hoping to understand the incredible sophistication hidden within its apparent simplicity. A new era of cooperation and mutual learning was about to begin. 1 month after the trials, the Galactic Council Station buzzed with unprecedented activity. The main chamber had been transformed into a ceremony hall, filled with representatives from every advanced species in the known galaxy. Today marked Earth's official joining of the Galactic Council, but it was more than just a political ceremony. Tom stood at the center of the chamber, surrounded by the same beings who had once mocked human biology. Now they watched with respect as Dr. Gray presented the results of her month-long detailed study of human biological capabilities. "The research center on Earth is already making remarkable discoveries," she announced, her energy form glowing brighter than ever. "Human biology has opened up entirely new paths for biological enhancement." The metallic-skinned alien, now the head of biological research, stepped forward. Their enhanced form had been modified based on human biological principles. "We learned that adding more systems isn't always the answer. Integration and adaptation are the keys." Director Stone's crystalline form shimmered as he addressed the chamber. "Earth will serve as the center for evolutionary studies in the galaxy. Their primitive biology has proved to be anything but simple." Holograms around the room showed the ongoing projects, studies of human healing factors, endurance capabilities, and adaptation responses. Several alien species had already begun incorporating these principles into their enhancement designs. "The most fascinating discovery," Dr. Gray continued, "was how human biological systems communicate. Their bodies don't just react to challenges. They learn from them. Each stress, each recovery, makes them stronger." Observer White's light form pulsed in agreement. "We found that some of our enhancement technologies actually limited our ability to adapt. By trying to perfect specific functions, we lost the flexibility that natural evolution provided." Tom stepped up to the speaking platform. The chamber fell silent, eager to hear from the being who had changed their understanding of biological advancement. "A month ago, you laughed at human biology," he began, his voice carrying through the chamber. You saw our natural forms as primitive and inefficient, but nature had a head start of millions of years in designing these systems. He gestured to the research displays floating around the room. We don't have specialized organs for every function. We don't have backup systems for each part. Instead, we have something more valuable: adaptability. Our bodies learn, change, and improve with every challenge. The chamber erupted in appreciative murmurs as new data scrolled across the screens, showing how human biological principles were already improving alien enhancement technologies. Earth is honored to join the Galactic Council, Tom continued. We look forward to sharing our knowledge and learning from your technological achievements. Together, we can find the perfect balance between natural evolution and technological advancement. Director Stone moved forward, his crystalline form glowing with all the colors of respect and admiration. Let this be recorded in galactic history. The day we learned that true advancement doesn't always mean adding more technology. Sometimes, it means understanding and respecting the incredible sophistication of natural evolution. As the ceremony concluded, Tom watched various species mingling, discussing research projects and sharing ideas. The metallic-skinned alien approached him, their modified form moving with new grace. We still have our technological enhancements, they said, but now they work with our natural biology instead of replacing it. Your species taught us that. Dr. Gray's final presentation appeared above them all, a stunning display of human cellular structure, neural networks, and adaptation capabilities. The future of biological advancement, she announced, will be a combination of natural evolution's wisdom and technological innovation. The beings who had once laughed at human biology now stood in respectful silence, understanding that they had witnessed something profound. Nature's 4 billion years of research and development had created something far more sophisticated than they had imagined. And this was just the beginning.